browser should you use? You'll get a mixed response depending on who you ask, their experience, and more importantly, what they are familiar with. One thing is for sure, if someone's thinking of a browser, they're thinking of Google Chrome. With over 2.5 billion active users and a worldwide market share of nearly 70%, it's no wonder Chrome springs to mind. Google Chrome was first released back in 2008 for Windows XP. Shortly after this, became the go-to web browser. Chrome is made up of parts of the Apple WebKit and Mozilla Firefox components. Google later created the Blink engine and compiled it all into a project that's known as, wait for it, Chromium. Google Chrome became popular because it works on all devices syncing bookmarks, history, passwords and other items. Google Chrome has an attractive design, large and useful collection of extensions, plus it has great features such as dark mode, password manager, the ability to mute sites, incognito and guest modes. All of this for free. Who doesn't like free? Does all of this sound too good to be true? With anything good, you have the dark side. Before we get into the negatives, I want to make it clear I do not hate Google or Google Chrome. This is an honest review. I want to share this information with others so they're aware. With that out of the way, back to the video. In 2022 alone, there were over 300 security threats found in Chrome and over 3,000 security threats found in Chrome since the first date was released according to Atlas VPN and other sources. It's allowed hackers to run code, have unrestricted access to your data, cause crashes, and even take control of your system entirely, which affected billions of devices around the world. Google has managed to resolve these security threats quite quickly. However, comparing Chrome to other browsers that are on the market, it's definitely the one browser that has the most security threats. There are a few non-security related items that are worth mentioning. Chrome tracks and uses your data not only from the browser, but also from Google search to deliver annoying ads. Chrome consumes more CPU and memory than compared to other browsers, meaning that crashes are more likely to happen, especially on mobile devices. However, there are a few settings you can tweak to improve this somewhat. There's no "Are you sure?" button when you're closing down the Chrome window. So for example, if you had loads of tabs open, you could accidentally close the window with all of your tabs and lose track of where you were, or potentially, even worse, lose data. Now it does have a handy feature that when you open Chrome, it does say, hey, do you want to restore the pages? However, this doesn't recover your data if it's been lost. With all of this in mind, this brings us back to the original question, should you use Google Chrome? The answer is no. Yes, Chrome has some great features, however, in this case, the bad far outweighs the good. The great news is there are some fantastic alternatives that you can use right away, so stick around for the rest of the video to find out more. The best alternative to Chrome is Brave. Now, I find Brave a lot better than Chrome, so it's much more faster when it's loading pages. Brave also blocks ads and trackers by default, so whereas Chrome is an ad and tracker enabled by default, you have to actually go into the settings and disable that, whereas Brave, it does that out of the box. So it blocks ads, it blocks trackers, it tells you how much time you've saved as well from blocking those ads and trackers. It also tells you how much data you've saved as well, which is quite nice, and all of that is literally visible on the home screen as you open it up. Brave also has a lot of the features of Chrome as well, so things like the appearance of Chrome. I find Brave does look better in my opinion. You can adjust the appearance settings within Brave just as you can Chrome. Things like dark mode, things like the password manager you've got built into Brave. Obviously, all of privacy first is where Brave shines. In my opinion, it supports all of the Chrome extensions as well. You can actually get all of those via the web store within Brave, which is quite nice. It does. You do have the option to enable what's called Brave reward tokens. So what that means is you can actually enable ads that will then give you reward tokens, in which you can actually then donate that money, or those tokens, to the publishers of Brave and any other publisher that's associated with Brave. In fact, they're called Brave Verified publishers. So as long as it's a Brave Verified publisher, you can go ahead and donate that money towards them. You can use Brave to video call your friends and your colleagues. You can use Brave for Tor. So with regular Chrome, when you're using stuff like incognito mode, it will essentially hide your history and what you've been doing within that incognito session. However, in addition to that, what Tor does is it will actually block your location, so it masks your location in addition to hiding that history, which again is definitely an added functionality. Within Brave, you can also use multiple accounts. So you can have, for example, your work account, you can have your personal account, you can have your school account, whatever it might be, create different profiles, and they're totally separate. So again, the ad settings are separate, the Brave rewards are separate. It treats it as a completely new setup essentially, so you can keep all those kind of things separated, which I find really, really nice. And again, it supports multiple platforms. So you can support, Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, iOS. So again, in my opinion, Brave is a no-brainer in terms of swapping from Chrome to Brave. And also, Brave does have its own search engine. So as I said previously, with the Google Chrome, obviously uses Google Search to track your data and then provide you with those ads. So with the Brave search engine, it doesn't actually do that. So you can essentially get away from the Chrome, protect your data for sure. And then if you don't want to use the Brave search engine, then I would recommend using DuckDuckGo, which is something that I'll get onto in a second. But you can use that instead of Google Search to again further protect your information. Now, the better alternative to Chrome would be another browser/search engine, depending on what device you're using. So it's called DuckDuckGo, as I mentioned in the previous clip. And essentially what this is, if you're using a PC, then it's going to come in the form of an extension. So if you're using Brave, for example, you can actually hook in an extension to DuckDuckGo. It does also support Chrome and many other browsers. So no matter what browser you're using, you'll be able to actually enable DuckDuckGo. But essentially, DuckDuckGo doesn't track your browsing activities. So it doesn't use any of your personal data. It uses secure and encrypted. So it uses secure cookies and encrypted connections for that additional protection. So when using it on a PC, most of the time you'll be using as essentially a search engine. So where you use Google Search at the moment, then I'd recommend switching that out for the DuckDuckGo. And again, just for that additional layer of protection, it does have some cool features as well, such as infinite scroll. So, for example, when you're searching something on Google Search, you have to scroll all the way to the bottom and then click on pages, 2, 3, 4, etc. With DuckDuckGo, you can actually just keep scrolling down, and it will then essentially create an additional page. It will load content under as if it's just one page. You just essentially keep scrolling, hence the name infinite scroll. You just keep scrolling for the content that you want, and it's there, which I find really, really nice. DuckDuckGo definitely shines when you're using a mobile device more. So if you're using Android and or iOS devices, you can actually download that app either from the Play Store or the Apple Store, depending on what device you're using, and then use that app. And that app will be a browser app. And again, if you're using a PC, it's going to be an extension that you actually add on to provide that. So let me know, give them a test, both Brave and DuckDuckGo. Give them a try. Leave your comments in the comment section to see how you found them. And then just also let me know what browser you prefer. Another alternative to Chrome is Microsoft Edge. Now, Edge and Chrome are both built off of Chromium. So Edge uses the Blink engine, and Chrome was built off the Blink engine. They're both very similar in terms of the look and the feel. Now, I personally prefer Edge over Chrome because it has some nice functionalities that Chrome has, with I think a bit more to offer as opposed to using Chrome. So for example, in Edge you can actually use all of the Chrome extensions, so you can use the Chrome Web Store extensions in addition to the Microsoft store extensions. You can also use, so the Microsoft Edge has the syncing capabilities, but it doesn't sync directly to a Google account. Instead, it syncs directly to a Microsoft account. So again, if you have a Microsoft account, or you're using Xbox or something like that, then you can actually sync in that account and again carry across all those settings such as password, history, settings, etc. You can edit the appearance just as you can in Chrome. So you can have the dark mode. You can have also incognito mode as well. In Edge, it's called in private mode. You've got the Internet Explorer compatibility mode as well. So if there's a site that doesn't work quite right, then you can actually put that into the Internet Explorer mode. Yeah, I just find that with Microsoft Edge, the actual performance is a lot better. So with Chrome can be a memory hog, and also CPU. It can consume quite a lot, whereas Edge consumes a lot less. In addition to that, and I think the most important thing for me is that Edge doesn't have as many security threats as Chrome. To avoid security threats, it's always a good idea to ensure that your devices are fully up to date with any new updates that are made available, and those updates should be installed ASAP. For example, if you have a Windows computer, then you can use Windows updates to provide you those updates. If you're using a Mac, then you can use the software updates within the Mac to actually provide those critical updates. And again, these will include security updates, which are obviously vital to ensuring that all of your devices are kept safe and secure. And then if you're using any type of mobile device, then they're going to have some kind of software update within them, whether that be in the settings, or you may even use a third-party app. Now, there's one third-party app I would recommend, which is called Patch My PC, which is only for Windows. But what that does is, where the Windows updates would normally take care of nearly most of the Microsoft applications that are included in your system. If you've got Windows 11 or Windows 10, for example, then that's all of those system updates. Where Patch My PC comes into play here is all of the third-party applications. So, for example, you have Chrome, or you have Brave, or you have any other kind of application that you've decided to download and install into your system. That's the type. That's where Patch My PC will come into play and actually keep those up to date. So you can do that automatically, or you can do that manually where you run Patch My PC, and it's free, which is great. So definitely recommend using that. As always, thank you very much for watching the video. Please don't forget to share and subscribe to my channel for more content, and I'll see you in the next video.